Alright, so why is making money very hard for you? I'm just gonna dive straight into this and pretty much give you the reason why is it that making money is very hard for you. Now, before I get into those actual reasons, I want you to just get out of the reality that you feel you're in right now. And I'm not talking all this manifestation, vibration, voodoo shit. I'm not talking about any of that. I just mean forget the idea of you need this business model. I mean, forget the idea of you need this much amount of money. Forget the idea of you need this much amount of capital to start your business journey and make money. No, forget the day to day. Just stop attaching yourself to all these questions that you really have about, oh, I need this job, or oh, I'm gonna go and do this and then do that and then I'm gonna do this. No, like forget all the real tangible plans, because really that's not why making money is hard for you. Now, I'm not saying, look, whenever I'm giving such context, I need you to understand that it's very paradoxical. So I'm not saying you don't need any vehicle at all. Obviously, you're gonna have to choose a vehicle, and we'll get into that in a second. But before you do that, you want to just simply dive into what you think about money, at its actual fundamental. Why making money is hard for you. It's about money. So we're going to talk about purely about money and the fundamental of it, and why it is really hard to make it. So the reason it is very hard is because your beliefs about money are just simply skewed. Okay, just to put it like that, it's all about the beliefs and how you actually want to view the money. Because look, here's how it works. Okay, you have a belief, and that belief makes you act. Now, sometimes you can act against your beliefs, but you cannot consistently act with those same amount of beliefs. Okay, you cannot consistently act for weeks and weeks and months on end with those same previous beliefs. Okay, and anybody that's trying to become someone new and try to achieve this new goal that they have, they're gonna have to sort of tweak their beliefs according to what they think that goal is there. Okay, this applies for everybody at any stage, that they're in. Even if you want to make your first million instead of your first 100K or your first 10K, this applies to all of them. Okay, it's all about your beliefs. It's all about how you actually want to see it. So let me give you an example. When I say making money is hard, I don't mean money is hard to come by. Okay, and that's typically how people misunderstand that interpretation. Because yes, you do have to work hard, but money does not come that hard. Okay, it's actually very easy. Okay, and it's all about when you hear these things, when you hear these beliefs, when you hear these phrases of making money is hard or this or that. It's like how you want to actually perceive that as the information comes by is how your beliefs will form, and then that in turn will lead to you acting, and then your actions will obviously result in whatever your outcome of life is, right? So that's how your outcomes result. So when these things are actually there, you want to actually catch yourself, and actually question that. Okay, the most successful people are always the ones that question every single thing. And I don't mean question and criticize everything. I mean just simply taking a step back. Anytime someone gives an opinion, they genuinely question things. Okay, they genuinely question, okay, is that actually true? Who is this person that's actually telling me? Removing all the emotion to that person. Because I don't care if you're somebody I really really look up to, and you're like my parents, or you're my family, and I've loved you all my life. No, like sometimes you want to look at every single opinion and take a step back, see who it's actually coming from. Ask yourself that one question: is that person actually living that sort of life? Okay, or is it just an opinion that they have themselves? This is just a small side topic, but so many people, when they comment, oh, Dubai is so good for money, or this that, and I was thinking about that phrase, but then I was also at the road in Dubai, and I saw just 15 workers with the yellow hats on. And I was like, okay, Dubai is the place for money, yes, but tell that to those guys there. Okay, and I'm not trying to be a socialist. Yeah, I'm a big capitalist guy, so don't worry about that part. But look, tell that to the guys there. Okay, so obviously there's context and obviously there's things, but then so many of those same people that say, yeah, Dubai is the place you want to go to make money, they are always the people that are looking at it from the outside. They're not the actual people that are living inside Dubai and actually experiencing that themselves. So yes, it may be true, it may not be true, but do you want to listen to it that time? No, I don't think so, right? So it's not really even about looking at it that way. It's just about, okay, listening to who it comes from, because sometimes the source really matters. And the issue here is, and why I'm bringing all this up is, as a child, a lot of these beliefs are when it's formed, because that's when you're still new to this world. You don't really have a lot of conceptions. That's when all your opinions really get formed, and that's how it starts to get solidified. And sometimes, well, your ego really, and I'm not talking about your ego in terms of every bad thing or how you deal with people. I mean your ego about just your sense of self. That comes into question, and that's how it starts forming. So anytime that belief can get challenged, sometimes people's egos, they're so big that they can never ever take a challenging belief. Okay, never ever. And yes, I also do have an ego. I have a sense of self. Like someone comes and tells me, oh, making money is very hard, or you're still young, don't go and make money, go to college, this, that. Yes, I am obviously gonna have my own sense of self questioned and my ego questioned, but I'm fine with that. At least I can look at that in hindsight and take a step back and look at what that person is saying, and then pretty much just observe it. Okay, so you don't even have to act on it, you can just observe, because the famous saying, be like Bruce Lee said, right? Be like water. You want to be like water. Okay, so you want to really like mold yourself. So it depends on your goal, right? For me, if my goal is making a lot of money, if that person comes and tells me this is my sense of self, this, that, then well, I'm not really gonna accept it. Have you seen that one video where Patrick Bet David is arguing with like 20 different, I think they're socialists, I don't want to say Democrats, I'm not sure, but he was arguing with like 20 of these guys, and then one of them, there's this female girl, and she was pretty much shitting on him and being like, oh, you have so many millions, that's what you're saying, you'll never live the life like I'm living. And he was just trying to say, I was where you were first, but I worked hard. And then he asked her the question, are you willing to work that hard? Are you really willing to work that hard to get so much money? And then she was like, I don't have to really attach my worth to my hard work. I'm just worthy as it is anyways. And that's a big problem, right? Obviously you have to work hard. You have to work to get stuff. Okay, it doesn't just come because you tell yourself, yes, I'm fucking worthy. Okay, and that's also something that I can just go into in depth about how people just think, oh yeah, like I'm worthy now, so I'm gonna just, yeah, like get everything because I think I deserve it and I want it. No, that's not how it fucking works. Okay, you cannot just fucking manifest and radiate yourself into that fucking life. That's not how it fucking works. Okay, and this is relevant to your money and your beliefs and why making money is hard for you, because many people as well, they have that problem of thinking, oh, I'm so worthy of this and I should get it, but then they don't even work at all. They don't even work to justify that. They don't even work on their own beliefs about what they think about money, or even just working hard, like this example of this one girl that I just said, right? So that is really the core issue with why making money is very hard. And it's really about your beliefs. So what I want you to do is go on ChatGPT. Okay, just go on ChatGPT and ask him, not it, him, because well, he deserves that status now. But ask him, give me 15 negative money beliefs that keep people poor. Literally, go and ask him that, or ask him like, what are some negative connotations towards money, or what are these beliefs that poor people have about money, and then give him a few examples like, oh, money is the root of all evil, making money is hard. You can go and give him those examples so that he can refer off that and get you like 13, 14 more examples. You'll get those sets, read all of them, and you will realize just how many of those actually sound familiar to you. Okay, and then you want to realize that is a big problem, and that's when you're gonna have that moment where you're like, oh damn, I actually believe this, or oh, wait, this belief actually resonates with me. Why is that? And then you're gonna think about that time in your childhood. You might not even have to remember that exact memory, but you're gonna think about, yeah, this is some belief I had, and this is some belief that came into my head like a couple of years ago, and now I see why it's like that. And then you want to understand, yeah, that's not gonna get you to your goal of making a lot of money. So then what you want to ask ChatGPT is, okay, reframe all these 15 beliefs that you've given me into the most positive beliefs. Okay, like money is the root of all evil. No, money is actually a source of me being the most kindest and most giving person I can possibly be. Because yes, it does make you insanely resourceful. That is where you can start helping everybody around you, right? You cannot do that when you're poor. So he's gonna give you all those, and then you want to read those. You read those and be like, wow, there's a whole different perspective. There's a whole different lens to actually seeing just the topic or the fundamental of money and how you want to actually view it. And then once you start reading those, I want you to every time, once in a week at least, just go and revisit those quotes back. Okay, go and revisit those, because those are beliefs about money, right? And then what happens is when you believe that about money, it's gonna root into your identity, and then once it roots into your identity, you start to associate your behavior like that, and that's how well your life results. Okay, so it's really all about your beliefs. Now, a bit about what I said in the start about, yes, there's some tangible things that you do want to make sure of, and obviously, so many people, like, I'm thinking of those same people as I'm trying to help them with this video and speak to these guys, where they're like, yeah, I have this college degree, I'm really stuck, and I'm gonna do this internship, I'm gonna learn, and I agree with that. Okay, I'm not saying don't do that. Okay, but look, at the end of the day, you need something high leverage. Okay, honestly, the business, now that I look at it as well, it's not the highest leverage. In fact, if I have to count every single business out there, it's probably like one of the small fishes, and I'm talking millions and millions and millions of dollars, and it's still a small fish. So when you actually look at leverage like that, and just how all these other businesses are out there, and just the potential of it, look, you want to look at the look for me, it was very simple. Okay, this is going to get me to my goal. This is actually a very easy entry barrier business model. This is actually something where it's not that risky, apart from just the actual life outside and how people are going to observe it, view it, and whatever else time that I do not spend on whatever my formal plans are, but on this business. And the risk of that, yes, those risks are there, but in actual business risk, now you want to pick something that you can sort of handle. Okay, and I'm not saying don't go for the bigger businesses. Sometimes I think, okay, maybe I could have done that as well. Why not? But that's me saying it now, because I have some level of business experience, and I've seen some good and bad days. But look, you have to eventually get leverage. So if you're in that position right now, right, go do that thing. Okay, just go do that internship, go do the work, whatever, but make sure you do it in a place where you can absorb as much as you can, so that you can work your own business eventually, and you have to be able to transfer those skills. Now, those skills can be very industry related, or those skills can really just be how you operate and you work, because I'm telling you, 80% of it is really how you operate and you work, because the other 20% you can always figure that out later. You can also always just pay people to tell you that information. Okay, that's an option you should always consider. Okay, always consider. I promise you that will get you to your goals so much more quicker. And do not have that ego. And then also, don't look at all these guys like, oh, the scammers, is that, because look, I know there's the space, it's a bad space where people will try to scam you for your money. A real true mentor, truly never actually takes money from you for doing something. But then there's a whole other argument to that, where if I'm doing something just for free, and I don't really know you, it's not gonna be the best quality work from my side as well. And even in your eyes, you're gonna just perceive it as, oh, it doesn't have any value, because there's no money attached to it. Okay, so sometimes there's that caveat. When I'm saying like a mentor who will never want to charge you, it's really those people that they're kind of like family already. Okay, so it's a whole different topic there. But otherwise, you want to just pay for that information, because you can do that. Okay, so when I talk about the other 80%, the one that you're actually operating in, and that you're actually getting stuff done in, you want to make sure you're doing things quickly. When I say absorbing everything in that environment, you want to actually obsess. Okay, to break it all down, all those skills that you'll get, it just boils down from obsession. Okay, pure obsession. I'm not talking like fucking mama mentality, this, that, and just going no, like really, really look at the bubble that you're in that space. Okay, you want to actually look at that bubble. You want to actually think a bit strategy. You want to actually think like that. But then also, most of the time, especially when you start, just do the damn thing. Okay, because when you do the damn thing for so many days and weeks and months on end, your brain will just expand. Okay, and you want your brain to expand. Telling you, your brain, it just keeps expanding, and then that is truly when you understand, oh, like, I have to work quickly now. Oh, this is all the things that I can manage. Oh, like, I didn't even know I can do this. Because the reality is, you just do it so much and you're so obsessed that time will just fly by, and you look back at it and you're like, oh, okay, this is the person I'm now. And then your brain is just so expanded, you almost unfamiliar to the person you're before, that's when you know you've actually grown. That's when you know you've actually moved the chip and you've actually operated. Okay, so even if you're going and you're doing these jobs or you're doing these internships or whatever it is, make sure that is the goal. Okay, don't just look at the advice, because growing up the advice was this, right? Go down this path, go and do this, go and do that, and you will be fine. And that's the thing that people don't understand, because yes, those parts work. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but that's not enough, right? You need obsession. You truly need obsession. You truly need to immerse your brain. You want to go in with the idea of just expanding your brain because you're doing so much. And that is how you truly catch motion. And that's how you will get to your goal. And that's how you will make money. Okay. Then money will really be that easy. Today I had 400 grand hit my account. Okay. 400 grand. And at that same time, there was literally like 12 grand, which was just bank forex fees. And it's so much money, but you're obviously still like, wow, like there's 12 grand that was just there for fucking bank fees. And you want to get to that point where making money actually gets so much easy when you're desensitized to it, because you're not in that chasing mentality. Like for me, I just lost 12 grand in just fucking forex fees, but I'm not even like I don't even feel the fucking cut. Okay, I'm not even gonna say scar. It's just like cut, and I don't even really feel the bone of it. Okay, that's the ideal point. I'm not saying this to flex. I hope you understand. I'm not trying to flex about this. I'm trying to say that you're gonna get so desensitized to it. You're gonna get so detached to it because you're just so into the process. You're just so into actually knowing what you have to do and just putting the inputs and chipping, that the work and the results, it will just sort of spawn on its own. And you truly get like immersed in the actual action and the input, and not really in the, oh, I want the money and stuff. Because look, I understand. Okay, I understand the pain of looking at it and going, how the hell do I make this money? Okay, how the hell are these guys doing it out there? How the hell did they manage to pull this off? And you're feeling that insane level of urgency. You're feeling that insane level of burn, like I'm not doing enough. And I understand that completely. But I also want you to understand that you have to detach yourself from all of that. Okay, not again voodoo fucking manifestation, vibration shit. No, like just detach yourself, because you have so many other things to focus on, so many other things to do. Okay, so I hope this video helps, and I hope it really like simplifies at the core fundamental, or just the base of what money is and why it should be very easy for you to make it.